Hello, people. Happy Monday. Let's talk about the I don't lie guy. You got the I don't lie guy. He never lies. His brother never lies. They state repeatedly in almost all their videos, I don't lie, people. I'm telling you the truth, people. I'm being honest, people. I don't lie. One guy says, I don't lie. It'd be too difficult. Or, I don't lie. You got to believe me. I'm being truthful with you. I'm being honest, people. Listen, I'm being honest. They spend the majority of their time with their fucking lips moving saying that they don't lie. I'm not a psychotherapist, but I'm not a lawyer, but just doing a little bit of investigation and looking things up, just like all of you can. You look it up online and see who constantly says they don't lie. It's like the number one trait of a sociopath, a narcissist, somebody with, what do they call it, antisocial personality disorder or whatever, but it's like a sociopath thing. It's ingrained in them. It's part of who they are. They don't lie. They never lie. And they just stick to the story. They repeat it over and over and over again. It's like brainwashing. You'd almost think that these guys were lifelong salesmen. Oh, wait. He said he was. Cold calling people, running an office. Two-part call, two-part sales, closing deals, shady deals, selling phony shit, convincing people. You got to convince people. You got to make money. The one guy, he's bragged that he was making money hand over fist, that he was making in the multiples of six figures, that he drove a Porsche or several Porsches and made an awful lot of money. Both of these guys have said shit like that. But the Chili Kingmaker, he's bragged about that very recently. What do they got to show for it now? Huh? Who's in their late 50s living at home? Ma! Yeah. You got a lot to show for it, don't you? But you just keep on. I don't lie, people. You got to believe me. Why do they do that? Why do they just repeat that over and over and over again? They do that because when there becomes a time where maybe their actions don't fit their words, it doesn't match up, people are going to say, well, he was being honest anyway, because he doesn't lie. Remember, it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they've been fooled. It's a tactic that narcissistic sociopaths like that use. I mean, a couple months ago, the guy was screaming about me. Oh, he's an ex-cop. He's racist. He uses the N-word. He doesn't like black people. I've never told him that I was a cop. I don't think I've ever told a guy that I don't like black people or the N-word. He went and did his little Googling, and he came up with some shit. Yeah, maybe I don't like black people. He said that I was fired, that I was a cop and I got fired for some kind of racist thing. He didn't read that anywhere. Nobody's going to read that anywhere. I wasn't fired, but I don't sit and talk about my past, okay? These guys do. Delusions of grandeur, how they used to have this, I used to be this, I used to be that. I used to work with a guy, I had a shitty job, a guy came in there, he had another same shitty position as me, and he used to always brag, I used to be in management, I supervised 40 women, all this. That's who these guys are. I used to be. I used to make this much. I used to make this much. I used to do this. I used to be a tough guy. The other night he said somebody banged on his door, and he opened the door and had words with the guy and hit him. Then he changed the story and said, no, I opened the door, the guy hit me. And he had keys in his hand. And my son was recording it, and then I hit him back. And I hit him right here. And it's a great video. And I'm saving that video in case I'm ever famous and he tries to sue me. I used to be, right? I used to be this, I used to be that. Anybody that disagrees with this fucking cocksucker, he calls him a troll. And says to keep watching, that you're buying his next supercar. Any supercar that he's ever owned, his mother and father bought, okay? We've all seen the videos. His mom drives a Porsche 911 Carrera convertible or whatever it's called, and it's not her first one, she's had them before. And I've never seen him tooling around in it. I don't even think that the Kingmaker has a driver's license. And that gets me to another thing. Maybe we're gonna have a part 2 of this, because he's been lying to everybody. Tells everybody I have an arrest that was expunged, and that's why I can't make it over to see the love of my life, over by the edge of the earth, because of an expunged arrest. Listen, pal, if it was expunged, I wouldn't be able to see it. And here's another thing. You're leaving something out of that arrest, aren't you? Because we know what you say publicly, but there was another charge in there that didn't really have anything to do with alcohol. But you haven't elaborated on that. But what you have said is that you're going to buy your way into that other place. You're going to hire a lawyer and pay him a boatload of money or whatever. All right? Now, there is going to be another part to this. But I'm not going to dox anyone, people. I'm not even going to say his name. You know who I'm talking about. Guy made threats to me the other day. I know where he lives. I know his phone number, his address, and all this. Oh, but I'm a good guy. I'm not going to do anything about it. Good for you. Wise choice. How about that? I'm probably leaving something out. This guy he's riding that Chinese bike though, right? Trashes Asian people. I've got videos. You guys have seen them. Trashes China, like the government of China. Mocks Asian people, like Chinese people, like that. Made videos about that before. He's made anti-Asian statements in front of other people who were like cringing at the things that this guy was saying. I have all that on tape, and I made videos about it, and I took him down, but we could put him back up. But isn't it funny? Now he's repping China, got that free bike, right? Hey, use my code, get $100 off my Chinese bike. Sounds pretty good. So you go to the website and you can get that code on your own. You don't need him. There's dozens of people that have different codes for that bike. You know, they just are selling bikes, and you might not be able to use the code with his name, but if you go to the website, you can get that bike $100 off, all right? Entering the code that it tells you to put in. And, but yeah, repping China. After he attacked China, he attacked TikTok. I don't like TikTok people. What he said about TikTok is, you know, a little bit correct. But then he went and said that Facebook is not the enemy of America. Mark Zuckerberg is not the enemy of America. Yeah, he said Zuckerberg is not the enemy of America. You know, that lizard, he's not the enemy of America. Yet, he said he quit Facebook. But he didn't really, because he goes back and he posts and likes things, or, you know, he's on Instagram, which is owned by, you guessed it, Zuckerberg. Yeah. So, I don't know what happened to this guy, but he's repping China. He's up Zuckerberg's ass. And, it's pretty good. I mean, did make a lot of anti-Asian statements, though. I mean, straight up fucking mocking an older Asian man. I mean, we could put those videos up, but I'm the bad guy for saying the N-word, right? You can't even say the N-word, right? The word is nigger, but you'll never hear him say a nigger, right? Can't say nigger, gotta say the N-word. He's probably the same fucking guy that says the C-word, because he's too much of a pussy to say cunt, which is what he is, a fucking cunt. Yeah, I don't, there's no word that's so bad that you can't say it. If you want to say, oh, he said the N-word, please, please. Fucking idiots. Oh, he's a racist ex-cop. Okay. What, do you think I was bothering you, buddy? Okay. People were supposed to have a problem with that, right? How about your brother? His brother had an arrest when he was a juvenile of sexual abuse. He was convicted of it. He was sentenced for it. I've posted that article. I'll post it again. I'll link it in here. All right? They won't talk about that, though. It's like a lie of omission. They just won't talk about it. So it never happened. And he'll just keep repeating everything. That he doesn't lie. The brother doesn't lie. They're good guys. They don't lie. They've changed. I'm getting fucking sick of it, people. You know? Getting sick of it. You know? You're all just sitting up at mom's house, just waiting. That day's coming. You're just waiting. Get your grubby hands on her money, right? So you can buy your next supercar. Fuck out of here. If you tell a lie enough, tell a lie often enough, it becomes the truth. You know? It's plain to see that both of these guys are narcissistic sociopaths. Again, I'm not a doctor, a psychiatrist. I'm not an attorney. I mean, if you want to call me a racist ex-cop, but I'm none of these other these things, you know. And he wants to brag how much money he's making. Oh, I used to do this. Talk about how much money you've made lately. What'd you make 6 months ago or the past year? You know, talk about that. Talk about what you're pulling in from YouTube, huh? What your fucking blowjob chili show. What'd they pay you? Oh, you won't talk about that though. But you'll throw shit around it. You made multiples of 6 figures, you know, conning people over the phone like it was Wolf of Wall Street or something, you know. And then he got mad. Oh, you called me a serial rapist. Not just a rapist, a serial rapist. Guy said he should be sitting in prison with his brother for 40 years for something that they got away with just by the skin of their teeth, because the 6 cops that were there that night didn't know what they were doing. Didn't have a clue. Never explained it. Then he started yelling about me and all the shit that I'm saying about him and all this. And he's telling people, oh yeah, he had a gun and some drugs under the seat. You know, and listen, I've searched long and put a little effort into it. Nobody gets 40 years for having a gun and some drugs under a seat. He had mentioned when he was saying this, in a blue Capri, his brother said, a Capri is about the size of a Mustang. You could fill a Mustang with drugs and guns. Fill it. And you're not gonna have enough to put you in prison for 40 years. Really. You could have a stolen gun that you stole from a police station, along with drugs that you stole from an evidence locker in a police station. You're not gonna get 40 years. What kind of crimes did I say I get 40 years? Almost always violent, almost always have a sexual component. And now, you know, the brother, this guy, he pisses off some Scientologists, talking a lot of smack about them, and they dug up some dirt on him that says that he was a sex offender, that he's been locked up before, I don't know, 20, 25 years ago for failing to register, or 20 years ago, and he's been locked up for trying to have his way, put the blocks to a fucking girl in a school stairwell in high school, you know? They printed that. If that's not true, you should go after them, really, because you never lie, right? But you won't address that, you know? He's the kind of guy, he'll lawyer his way out of it. They misspelled paraphernalia in that story about his brother. They did, I caught that. They misspelled the word paraphernalia. And also they got his brother's age wrong by like 4 months. They said the brother was 54 when the brother I think is currently 53. But like I've said before, I can verify with rap sheets the most heinous shit in that story. You know, like the sexual assault and all that. I can verify all that. You know, just like I can verify that there's more to that story that the Chili Kingmaker's not telling you guys on why he can't get to the edge of the earth to be with a woman who he met online, who he's never met in person, but somehow is the love of his life, who he considers her kids his. And that's stability for you, right, people? I don't know. I don't hate on these guys. I pray for these guys. Every night I pray for them. Pray that they'll find peace. They'll come to their senses. They love to throw God in people's face, don't they? That's a good one too. Blasphemous. I'm probably leaving something out, but we'll be back. Oh yeah, we're gonna be back, people. I'll leave a link too for, let's see, who can I leave a link for? Well, the story about the brother, I'll leave a link for that. Maybe I'll leave a link for Church's Fried Chicken, Church's Texas Chicken. We'll leave a link for that, just in case you want to send a message anonymously too, to Church's. You could send them something that, watch out who they're going to have represent their brand. You know, that's right, people. You go let churches know. You know. I'll leave a link for the Tootsie Roll Industries if you want to report anybody that has been infringing on the trademark for Junior Mints. We'll leave that. Who else? I'll leave a link maybe to a video. And what else? What else can I do? Let's keep it positive. I'll leave a link for I don't know. Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa? Yeah. Or Mariah Carey. Or something like that. Something positive. I'll leave a link to their YouTube channel or something like that. You go listen to some uplifting music. Right? We'll be back, people. We'll be back. Go ask them. Hey, what'd your brother do? Or how come you always say you don't lie? You don't lie. You don't lie. You don't lie. You just fucking drive that home. You don't lie. Because it becomes truth after a while, right? And people are just going to follow you blindly. Well, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. And on that, this is running on a bit. What is this? Oh, no, my editor's probably going to see this. I may have to take this down. So, whoa. Yeah, fuck this guy. All right. Links below. And, I don't lie, people. Thanks for watching.
I hope you're all safe. I'm a serial rapist.
We could do a whole show on close calls.
But I think of one in particular.
In a blue Capri.
That if one of those 6 police officers had their act together, nobody would have ever met me. Nobody would have ever met you. We would have just been 2 guys rotting away in jail for at least a 40 piece.